guys did a very good job bringing more energy in the second half. Didn't think we played as hard as we needed to during stretches in the first half. Tony Mitchell's a great player, and you've got to focus so much attention to him, and I thought we did a decent job on him. I mean, he's an excellent player. I thought our guys shrunk the floor a little bit. I mean, he's an all-league guy. He's not the only guy that they've got either. And I thought Alzie Williams stepped up and hurt us in the first half. He was 5 of 6 from 4-2 of 2 from three-point line. And just felt like we needed to have more urgency to get out and defend in the second half, and I thought we did. And I thought we needed to get the ball to the paint a little bit more in the second half. We were a little bit passive in the first half. Consequently, we didn't shoot as good a percentage. We gave up 48% from the floor in the first half and defended much better in the second half.
Looked like, Mitchell was kind of getting them going there kind of early in the second half. He scored 6 straight, and kind of like what we talked about, probably wanted to see you guys kind of do something to kind of stop that. What did you see? Do you like how you guys responded at that point?
Well, I thought our guys played harder
in
stretches in the second half. You've seen us a lot, Troy. We've had stretches to where we haven't played as hard as we need to play. That sounds very simplistic, but it's a fact of life in college basketball. You've got to play as hard as you can play on every possession. And I thought in the second half we did that for the most part.
How did you kind of get them to do that, I guess? Or is there a point where it's kind of hard to get them to do it from a game to game? You just kind of open out.
I think a couple of those championship plays that they made on the defense been key. I thought our guys, made some good rotations, came up with some 50-50 plays, and then we had a couple in transition where we found James and he got a big dunk. That kind of feeds our guys.
I was telling Kimmy, he didn't play a whole lot, but there was a stretch there where he hit the 2 threes, and then he found James under the basket. I mean, did you like the kind of spark he gave you when you're down a guard? So
I thought he did. I thought, especially when Josh picked up 2 fouls. And I thought Josh played very sound defensively with those 2 fouls in the second half.
I think at the beginning of that run, Mitchell goes out. That helps a little bit, right? I don't remember how long he was out. I mean, that helps a little bit. Just they're shorthanded anyways, and to have him on the bench, did that help a little bit? You think?
Oh, without a doubt. Anytime you've got a pro on the bench over there, it does. Our guys did a better job rebounding the ball. We started out the game rebounding. We had a +4 rebound margin. I think we lost the glass by 2, but it wasn't like we gave up an excessive amount of offensive rebounds.
With James, I think he had played 11 and 13 in his last 2 games. Was there something you kind of wanted to see from him to kind of get him out there more?
I wanted to see him rebound the basketball. I talked to him yesterday about the first 6 games of the season. He had 6 or more rebounds in each of those 6 games. I know he only had 4 rebounds tonight, but he was much more aggressive. And he had a stretch after that SMU game where he ended up, I don't think he's had a 5 rebound game, but he's had several where he's had 2 and 4 and 3. And we need James and Leroy and Will, those guys rebounding the ball for us.
You mentioned Alzie. He scores 13 in the first half, nothing in the second half. What was kind of the difference there? Who was on him mostly? Was it Dan?
I thought our guys had more urgency. I think Ben guarded him for the most part. We were trying to keep Leroy on Jordan Williams, who's shooting the ball very well from three-point line during conference play. And Hardwick and Alzie both hurt us a little bit in the first half. We're focused so much on Tony Mitchell and so much on Jordan Williams that we give those guys some good looks. And they're good players. I mean, not that we just gave those guys good looks. I mean, they made some shots. They made some plays.
Was that the key at half then when you're thinking, you'd been done a good job on Tony, but Alzie, he scores 13 points.
I mean, you've got to get to him. You can't go another 5 for 6 in the second half and 2 for 2. You've got to do a better job guarding him while you're still focused on Tony and still focused on Jordan.
With that team, they had so many injuries. I mean, this isn't at all the North Texas team that people would expect to see. How does that affect your prep coming into this game when they've only got 8 guys? Does it affect anything at all? Or I don't
think at all. I mean, you're focused on the guys that are going to play. We had to prepare for a couple other guys that ended up not playing, Coleman and those guys. But Troy, I mean, injuries are a part of the game. We're without
Right.
We're without John right now. We've been without Marie Kyson for the entire year. And they were a little bit short-handed, but I thought our guys did a good job of adjusting in the second half, playing with more energy and more effort and more togetherness.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, sir.